Good day everyone, I am Joshua Baluyot, a third-year Bachelor of Physical Education student, and on behalf of our group number 3, I am going to start our discussion of our topic, the K-12 curriculum junior high school. So, the K-12 basic education program. As of 2012, primary and secondary education have been reformed through the K-12 basic education program, or K-12. The K in K-12 stands for kindergarten, and the 12 stands for 12 years of education, or from grades 1 to 12. The reforms were implemented in phases. As of 2012, education is compulsory starting from kindergarten. Via K-12, education has also been expanded with 2 years of upper secondary education. Upper secondary education has been compulsory since 2016. Junior high school diploma. After completing primary education, students can continue on to lower secondary education. In the Philippines, this is called junior high school, or JHS. Students complete junior high school by taking exams for the junior high school diploma. Because K-12 started in 2012, the junior high school diploma was first awarded in 2016. So after primary school, students can enroll in lower secondary school. This is called junior high school in the Philippines. Students earn their junior high school diploma by taking exams. In 2016, it is the first year when the junior high school diploma was granted. The duration of junior high school is 4 years, from grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, and grade 10. The content or the subjects in junior high school includes Filipino, English, mathematics, social sciences, or araling palipunan, science, personal training, or edukasyon sa pagpapakatao o ESP, music, arts, physical education, health, and technology and livelihood education, or TLE. The function of the diploma for junior high school is to access to upper secondary education, or the grade 12, or the senior high school diploma. The diploma is called junior high school diploma. So the junior high school includes the subjects of Filipino, English, mathematics, science, araling palipunan, or social sciences, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao o ESP, music, arts, physical education, health, technology, and livelihood education, or TLE. So let's come now to the first subject of the junior high school. We have the Filipino. Kaugnay nito, layunin ng pagtuturo ng Filipino na malinang ang una, kakayahang komunikatibo, pangalawa, reflektibo o mapanuring pag-iisip, at pangatlo, pagpapahalagang pampanitikan ng mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng mga babasahin at teknolohiya tungo sa pagkakaroon ng pambansang pagkakakilanlan, kultura na literasi at patuloy na pagkatuto upang makaagapay sa mabilis na pagbabagong nagaganap sa daigdig. Sa ikatatamo ng mathing ito, kailangan ng mga kagamitang panturo ng mga guro bilang suporta sa kurikulum na magmumula sa administrasyon, ahensyang panlipunan, pribado at publiko, pamahalaang lokal, media, tahanan at iba pang sektor ng lipunan. Dumako naman tayo ngayon sa pamantayan sa bawat baitang, or the grade level standards. Simulan natin sa ikapitong baitang. Pagkatapos ng ikapitong baitang na ipamamalas ng mag-aaral ang kakayahang komunikatibo, mapanuring pag-iisip at pag-unawa at pagpapahalagang pampanitikan gamit ang teknolohiya at iba't ibang uri ng teksto at akdang pampanitikang rehiyonal upang maipagmalaki ang sariling kultura, gayon din ang iba't ibang kulturang panrehiyon. Samantala, Ang pamantayan naman sa ikawalong baitang ay naipamamalas ng mag-aaral ang kakayahang komunikatibo, mapanuring pag-iisip at pag-unawa at pagpapahalagang pampanitikan gamit ang teknolohiya at iba't ibang uri ng teksto at akdang pampanitikang pambansa upang maipagmalaki ang kulturang Pilipino. Pagkatapos naman ng ikasyam na baitang, naipamamalas ng mag-aaral ang kakayahang komunikatibo, mapanuring pag-iisip at pag-unawa at pagpapahalagang pampanitikan gamit ang teknolohiya at iba't ibang uri ng teksto at saling akdang Asyano upang mapatibay ang pagkakakilanlang Asyano. At panghuli, pagkatapos ng ikasampung baitang, naipamamalas ng mag-aaral ang kakayahang komunikatibo, mapanuring pag-iisip at pag-unawa at pagpapahalagang pampanitikan gamit ang teknolohiya at iba't ibang uri ng teksto at saling akdang pandaigdig tungo sa pagkakaroon ng kamalayang global.
Good day, ma'am. Good day, everyone. I am the second reporter of group number 3. I am IRINCO, and my topic is English and Mathematics subject in the K12 Junior High School curriculum. So first, we have here the K12 Language Arts and Multiliteracies curriculum is anchored on the following language acquisition, learning, teaching, and assessing principles. All languages are interrelated and interdependent. Facility in the first language, L1, strengthens and supports the learning of other languages, L2. Acquisition of sets of skills and implicit metalinguistic knowledge in one language or common underlying proficiency or CAP provides the base for the development of both the first language, or L1, and the second language, or L2. It follows that any expansion of CAP that takes place in one language will have a beneficial effect on the other language or languages. This principle serves to explain why it becomes easier and easier to learn additional languages. Okay, so next slide. We have read the English at the end of grade 7. So their program standard, the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of literature and other text types for deeper appreciation of Philippine culture and those of other countries. And their grade level standard, the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of Philippine literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of Philippine culture. And the content standard, the learner demonstrates understanding of contemporary Philippine literature as a means of responding to the demands of the global village, various extended text types, lexical and contextual clues, appropriate and polite oral language, stance and behavior and use of imperatives, prepositions, verbs, and WH questions. So their content standards focuses more on the Philippine literature. Lastly, the performance standard. The learner transfer learning by explaining the need to the cooperative and responsible in today's global village, using appropriate strategies to comprehend and extend text types, extended text types, using lexical and contextual clues to understand unfamiliar words and expressions, using imperatives, prepositions, and appropriate and polite oral language, stance, and behavior in various information sharing formats. So that is the English at the end of grade 7. And we have here English at the end of grade 8. So their program standard is the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of Philippine culture and those of other countries. And their grade level standard, the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of Philippine literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of Philippine culture. Their content standard is the learner demonstrates understanding of South and West Asian literature as an expression of philosophical and religious beliefs. Information of flow in various text types, reality, fantasy, and opinion in listening and viewing material, word decoding strategies, and use of information sources. Active-passive constructions, direct reported speech, perfect tenses, and logical connectors in journalistic writing. So, in the grade 8 English, they are focusing more on the South and West Asian literature, unlike the grade 7 wherein the focus is on the Philippine literature. Lastly, their performance standard. The learner transfer learning by composing a variety of journalistic texts, the contents of which may be used in composing and delivering a memorized oral speech, featuring use of properly acknowledged information sources, grammatical signals for opinion making, persuasions and emphasis, and appropriate prosodic features, stance, and behavior. So, in grade 8, they will now compose a variety of journalistic tasks. While in the grade 7 they are only explain the content of their standard. And next we have here the English at the end of grade 9. So their program standard, the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of Philippine culture and those of other countries. Their grade level standard, the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of British American literature, including Philippine literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of Philippine culture and those of other countries. Their content standard is that the learner demonstrates understanding of how Anglo-American literature and other text types serves as means of preserving unchanging values in a changing world. Also, how to use the features of a full-length play, tense consistency, modals, active and passive constructions, plus direct and indirect speech to enable him/her competently performs in a full-length play. So, in the grade 9 English, they are focusing more in the demonstrating and understanding the Anglo-American literature. Do you remember the grade 8 wherein they are focusing more on the West and South Asian, right? Then the grade 9, there's an improvement. There's a little bit improvement wherein they're focusing more and demonstrating the Anglo-American literature. And lastly, their performance standard. The learner competently performs in a full-length play through applying effective verbal and non-verbal strategies and ICT resources based on the following criteria: focus, voice, delivery, and dramatic conventions. So lastly, we have the English at the end of grade 10. So their program standard is that the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of Philippine culture and those of other countries. And their grade level standard, the learner demonstrates communicative competence through his or her understanding of Philippine literature and other text types for a deeper appreciation of Philippine culture. And their content standard, the learner demonstrates understanding of how world literature and other text types serve as instruments to resolve social conflicts, also how to use the language of research, campaigns, and advocacies. So at English at the end of grade 10 is now focusing more on the world literature. So not just the Philippine literature, West and South Southeast Asian literature, and not just the Anglo-American literature, but the world literature. Okay, so lastly, we have the performance standard at the end of grade 10. The learner competently present a research report on a relevant socio-cultural issue. So that is the English subject at the end of grade 7, 8, 9, and 10 in the K12 junior high school curriculum. And next, we have the next topic is the mathematics. Next slide. Mathematics from K to 10 is a skills subject. By itself, it is all about quantities, shapes and figures, functions, logic, and reasoning. Mathematics is also a tool of science and a language complete with its own notations and symbols and grammar rules, with which concepts and ideas are effectively expressed. The contents of mathematics include numbers and number sense, measurement, geometry, patterns and algebra, and statistic and probability. Numbers and number sense as a strand include concepts of numbers, properties, operations, estimations, and their applications. So we all know that mathematics subjects compose of lots of numbers. It's shapes, figures, functions, formulas, and many other quantities. So now we'll talk about the something like a learning outcomes of mathematics at the grade level standards from grade 7 to grade 10. So the grade 7, the learner demonstrates understanding of K concepts and principles of numbers and number sense or sets and real number system, measurement, conversion of units of measurement, patterns and algebra or algebraic expressions and properties of real numbers as applied in linear equations and inequalities in one variable, geometry or sides and angles of polygons, and statistic and probability or data collection and presentation and measures of central tendency and variability, as applied using appropriate technology in critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, communicating, making connections, representations, and decisions in real life. So, the grade level standards of grade 8 is that the learner demonstrate understanding of K concepts and principles of patterns in algebra or factors of polynomials, rational algebraic expressions, linear equations, and inequalities in two-variable system of linear equations and inequalities in two variables. Next, the geometry or axiomatic structure of geometry, triangle congruence inequalities in a triangle in parallel and perpendicular lines, and statistic and probability or probability of simple events, as applied using technology in critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, communicating, making connections, representations, and decisions in real life. So next slide, we have the grade 9 grade level standard. The learner demonstrate understanding of K concepts and principles of patterns in algebra or quadratic equations and inequalities, quadratic functions, rational algebraic equations, variations and radicals, and geometry, parallelograms and triangle similarities, and basic concepts of trigonometry, as applied using appropriate technology in critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, communicating, making connections, representations, and decisions in real life. And lastly, the grade level standards of grade 10 in mathematics. The learner demonstrate understanding of K concepts and principles of patterns in algebra, or sequences, series, polynomials, polynomial equations, and polynomial functions. Next, the geometry, or circles and coordinate geometry, and the statistic and probability, or combinations and probability and measures of positions, as applied using appropriate technology in critical thinking, problem solving, reasoning, communicating, making connections, representations, and decisions in real life. So that is the grade level standards of mathematics from grade 7, 8, 9 to 10.
Good day, ma'am. Good day, everyone. I am Maria Solidad DULA, BPID 3 from Section A, a science subject in the junior high school curriculum. So, the K12 science curriculum will provide learners with a repertoire of competences important in the world of work and in a knowledge-based society. It envisions the development of scientifically, technologically, and environmentally literate and productive members of society who are critical problem solvers, responsible stewards of nature, innovative and creative citizens, informed decision makers, and effective communicators. This curriculum is designed around the three domains of learning science: understanding and applying scientific knowledge in local setting as well as global context whenever possible, performing scientific processes and skills, and developing and demonstrating scientific attitudes and values. The acquisition of these domains is facilitated using the following approaches: multi-interdisciplinary approach, science-technology society approach, contextual learning, problem issue-based learning, and inquiry-based approach. The approaches are based on sound educational pedagogy, namely constructivism's social cognition learning model, learning style theory, and brain-based learning. Let's come now to the grade level standard. First, we have the grade 7. At the end of grade 7, learners can distinguish mixture from substance through semi-guided investigations. They realize the importance of ear testing when conducting investigations. After studying how organ systems work together in plants and animals in the lower grade levels, learners can use a microscope when observing very small organisms and structures. They recognize that living things are organized into different levels, such as cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, and organisms. These organisms comprise populations and communities which interact with non-living things in ecosystems. Learners can describe the motion of objects in terms of distance and space, and represent this in tables, graphs, charts, and equations. They can describe how various forms of energy travel through different mediums. Then, learners describe what makes up the Philippines as a whole and the resources found in the archipelago. They can explain the occurrence of breezes, monsoons, and ITCs, and how this weather system affect people. They can explain why seasons change and demonstrate how eclipses occur. Next, we have in grade 8. At the end of grade 8, learners can describe the factors that affect the motion of an object based on the laws of motion. They can differentiate the concept of work as used in science and in layman's language. They know that the factors that affect the transfer of energy, such as temperature difference and the type, solid, liquid, or gas of the medium. Learners can explain how active faults generate earthquakes and how tropical cyclones originate from warm ocean waters. They recognize other members of the solar system. Learners can explain the behavior of matter in terms of the particles it is made of. They recognize that ingredients in food and medical products are made up of these particles and are absorbed by the body in forms of ions. Learners recognize reproduction as the process of cell division resulting in growth of organisms. They have delved deeper into the process of digestion as studied in the lower grades, giving emphasis on proper nutrition for overall wellness. They can participate in activities that protect and conserve economically important species used for food. Next, we have grade 9. So, at the end of grade 9, learners have gained a deeper understanding of the digestive, respiratory, and circulatory systems to promote overall health. They have become familiar with some technologies that introduce desired traits in economically important plants and animals. Learners can explain how new materials are formed when atoms are rearranged. The recognition that a wide variety of useful compounds may arise from such rearrangements. So, learners also can identify volcanoes and distinguish between active and inactive ones. They can explain how energy from volcanoes may be tapped for human use. So, they are familiar with climatic phenomena that occur on a global scale. They can explain why certain constellations can be seen only at certain time of the year. Learners can predict the outcomes of interactions among objects in real life, applying the laws of conservation of energy and momentum. Next slide, we have grade 10. So, at the end of grade 10, learners realize that volcanoes and earthquakes occur in the same places in the world, that these are related to plate boundaries. They can demonstrate ways to ensure safety and reduce damage during earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. Learners can explain the factors affecting the balance and stability of an object to help them practice appropriate positions and movements to achieve efficiency and safety, such as in sports and dancing. They can analyze situations in which energy is harnessed from human use, whereby heat is released, affecting the physical and biological components of the environment. Learners will have completed the study of the entire organism with their deeper understanding of the excretory and reproductive systems. They can explain in greater detail how genetic information is passed from parents to offspring, and how diversity of species increases the probability of adaptation and survival in changing environments. Learners can explain the importance of controlling the conditions under which a chemical reaction occurs. They recognize that cells and tissues of the human body are made up of water, a few kinds of ions, and biomolecules. These biomolecules may also be found in the food they ate.
Good day everyone, my name is Coley Balang. My topic is all about Aralin Panlipunan. Naging batayan ng K12 Aralin Panlipunan Curriculum ang mithiin ng edukasyon para sa lahat 2015 or Education for All 2015 at ang K12 Philippine Basic Education Curriculum Framework. Layo ng mga ito na magkaroon ng mga kakayahang kinakailangan sa siglo 21 upang makalinang ng functionally literate and developed Filipino. Nilalayon din ng batayang edukasyon ang matagalang pagkatuto pagkatapos ng formal na pag-aaral o lifelong learning. Ang estratehiya sa pagkamit ng mga pangkalahatang layunin ito ay alinsunod sa ilang teorya sa pagkatuto na konstruktivismo, magkatuwang na pagkatuto o collaborative learning, at pagkatutong pangkaranasan at pangkonteksto. Pamantayan sa bawat baitang o antas or grade level standards. Baitang 7 na ipamalas ang malalim na pag-unawa at pagpapahalaga sa kamalayan sa heograpiya, kasaysayan, kultura, lipunan, pamahalaan at ekonomiya ng mga bansa sa rehiyon tungo sa pagbubuo ng pagkakakilanlang Asyano at magkakatuwang na pag-unlad at pagharap sa mga hamon ng Asya. Baitang 8 na ipamamalas ang malalim na pag-unawa at pagpapahalaga sa sama-samang pagkilos at pagtugon sa mga pandaigdigang hamon sa sangkatauhan sa kabila ng malawak na pagkakaiba-iba ng heograpiya, kasaysayan, kultura, lipunan, pamahalaan at ekonomiya tungo sa pagkakaroon ng mapayapa, maunlad at matatag na kinabukasan. Baitang 9 na ipamamalas ang malalim na pag-unawa at pagpapahalaga sa mga pangunahing kaisipan at napapanahong isyu sa economics gamit ang mga kasanayan at pagpapahalaga ng mga disiplinang panlipunan tungo sa paghubog ng mamamayang mapanuri, mapagnilay, mapangnagutan, makakalikasan, produktibo, makatarungan at makataong mamamayan ng bansa at daigdig. Baitang 10 na ipamamalas ang malalim na pag-unawa at pagpapahalaga sa mga kontemporaryong isyu at hamong pang-ekonomiya, pangkalikasan, pampolitika, karapatang pantao, pang-edukasyon at pananagutang sibiko at pagkamamayan sa kinakaharap ng mga bansa sa kasalukuyang panahon gamit ang mga kasanayan sa pagsisiyasat, pagsusuri ng datos at iba't ibang sanggunian, pagsasaliksik, mapanuring pag-iisip, mabisang komunikasyon at matalinong pagpapapasya. Saklaw at daloy ng kurikulum na ipapamalas ang kamalayan bilang batang Pilipino sa katangiang at bahaging ginagampanan ng tahanan, paaralan at pamayanan tungo sa paghubog ng isang mamamayang mapanagutan, may pagmamahal sa bansa at pagmamalasakit sa kapaligiran at kapwa. Saklaw at daloy ng kurikulum. Makikita natin dito na mayroong grado, daloy ng paksa at description. Pang-7, daloy ng paksa, aralin Asyano. Description, pag-unawa at pagpapahalaga sa kamalayan, sa heograpiya, kasaysayan, kultura, lipunan, pamahalaan at ekonomiya ng mga bansa sa rehiyon tungo sa pagbuo ng pagkakakilanlan lang Asyano at makakatuwang na pag-unlad at pagharap sa mga hamon ng Asya. Pang-8, kasaysayan ng daigdig, pag-unawa at pagpapahalaga sa mga sama-samang pagkilos at pagtugon ng mga pandaigdigang hamon sa sangkatauhan sa kabila ng malawak na pagkakaiba-iba ng heograpiya, kasaysayan, kultura, lipunan, pamahalaan at ekonomiya tungo sa pagkakaroon ng mapayapa, maunlad at matatag na kinabukasan. Pang-9, economics, pag-unawa sa mga pangunahing kaisipan at napapanahong isyu sa economics gamit ang mga kasanayan at pagpapahalaga ng mga disiplinang panlipunan tungo sa paghubog ng mamamayang mapanuri, mapagnilay, mapanagutan, makakalikasan, produktibo, makatarungan at makataong mamamayan ng bansa at daigdig. Pang-10, mga kontemporaryong isyu, pag-unawa at pagpapahalaga sa mga kontemporaryong isyu at hamong pang-ekonomiya, pangkalikasan, pampolitika, karapatang pantao, pang-edukasyon at pananagutang sibiko at pagkamamamayan sa kinakaharap ng mga bansa sa kasalukuyang panahon gamit ang mga kasanayan sa pagsisiyasat, pagsusuri ng datos at iba't ibang sangguniang pagsasaliksik, mapanuring pag-iisip, mabisang komunikasyon at matalinong pagpapasya.
Good day everyone, I'm Raymond O. LOBOS. Edukasyon sa pagpapakatao. Ang edukasyon sa pagpapakatao ay isa sa mga asignatura ng pag-unlad ng programa ng Batayang Edukasyon na K12 na gagabay at huhubog sa mga kabataan. Tunguhin nito ang paghubog ng kabataang nagpapasya at kumikilos ng mapanagutang tungo sa kabutihang panlahat. Nangangahulugan ito na lilinangin at pauunlarin ang pagkataong etikal ng bawat mag-aaral. Upang may pamalas ito, kailangan magtaglay siya ng 5 pangunahing kakayahan, macro skills: pag-unawa, pagninilay, pagsangguni, pagpapasya at pagkilos. Grade level standards o pamantayan sa bawat baitang antas. Grade 7, nipamalas ng mga mag-aaral ang pag-unawa sa angkop na inaasahang kakayahan at kilos, panahon ng pagdadalaga, pagbibinata, kakayahan na at talento, hilig at pagkatao ng tao tungo sa pagtupad ng mga tungkulin sarili, sa kapwa, sa bansa, daigdig at sa Diyos, at pagtakda ng mithiin upang mapanagutan ang kahinatnan ng mga pasya at kilos. Grade 8, naipamalas ng mga mag-aaral ang pag-unawa sa layunin at kahalagahan ng pamilya at pagkikipagkwapa upang maging mapanagutan at pagkipag-ugnayan sa iba tungo sa kabutihang buhay sa lipunan. Grade 9, naipamalas ng mag-aaral ang pag-unawa sa mga konsepto tungkol sa lipunan at paggawa bilang paglingkod tungo sa tamang pagpili ng kurso o hanap buhay sa magiging makabuluhan at pakinabang sa kanya at sa lipunan. Grade 10, naipapamalas ng mga mag-aaral ang pag-unawa sa mga konsepto tungkol sa pagkatao ng tao, mga taong kilos, pagpapahalagang moral at mga isyong moral, at nagpapasya at kumikilos ng may presensya sa kabutihang upang maging matatag sa gitna ng mga isyong moral at impluwensya sa kapaligiran.
Good day everyone, I am Carmela P, DPJ, and I am discussing what is music and arts. So, music and arts are both related to each other, then both the music and arts curricula focus on the learner as receipt of the knowledge, skills, and values necessary for artistic expression and cultural literacy. The design of the curricula is a student-centered based spiral progression of processes, concepts, and skills, and grounded in performance-based learning. Thus, the learners is empowered through active involvement and participation to effectively correlate music and art to the development of his or her own cultural identity and the expansion of his or her vision of the world. Learning area standard. The learners demonstrates an understanding of basic concepts and processes in music and art through appreciation, analysis, and performance for his or her self-development, celebration of his or her Filipino cultural and diversity, and expansion of his or her world vision. K stage standard. The learners demonstrates understanding of salient features of music and art of the Philippines and the world through appreciation, analysis, and performance for self-development, the celebration of Filipino cultural identity and diversity, and the expansion of one's world vision. Let's come now to the grade level standard. For grade 7, the learner demonstrates basic understanding of the fundamental processes in music and the arts through performing, creating, listening, and responding towards appreciation of the cultural richness of the different provinces in the Philippines. For grade 8, the learner demonstrates understanding of salient features of Asian music and the arts through appreciation, analysis, and performance for self-development, the celebration of Filipino cultural identity and diversity, and the expansion of one's world vision. For grade 9, the learner demonstrates understanding of salient features of Western music and arts from different historical periods through appreciation, analysis, and performance for self-development, and celebrates of Filipino cultural identity and diversity and the expansion of one world vision. For grade 10, the learners demonstrates understanding of salient features of contemporary music and the arts through appreciation, analysis, and performance for self-development, the celebration of Filipino cultural identity and diversity, and the expansion of one's world vision. Music and arts conveys all the feelings and creative emotions that interpret different aspects through the beliefs and traditions of an individual connecting to the world. So that's all my report or my discussion. Thank you very much.
Before I start to discuss about my topic, let me tell you first about physical education. So, in my own opinion, based on my understanding, physical education is somewhat an activity or activities provided by the new curriculum to give skills and enhance the capabilities and abilities of endurance of the students to have certain knowledge and of course to have participation or experiences about physical activity towards our community, our schools, and to have a wider knowledge on how they're going to involve their selves in sports or any other physical platform. So let's start now about what physical education is. Physical education is fitness and movement education. Content is the core of the K12 PE curriculum. It includes the value of knowledge, skills, and experiences, and physical activity participation in order to achieve and maintain health-related fitness, as well as the optimized health. In particularly, it hopes and still understanding of why each rep is important so that the learner can translate knowledge into action. Thus, self-management is an important skill. In addition, the curriculum recognizes the view that fitness and healthy physical activity, or PE, behaviors must take the family in other environment settings of school. So, physical education is move to learn in the context of physical activity as the meanings of learning, while learn to move embodies the learning of skills and techniques and the acquisition of understanding that are requisites to participation in a variety of physical education or activities that include exercises, games, sports, and recreational activities as well. Physical education is having a learning area standard. The learner demonstrates understanding of the concept of physical fitness and physical activity in achieving, sustaining, and promoting an active life for fitness and health. K stage standards. the learner demonstrates understanding of integrating physical activity behaviors in achieving an active lifestyle. So, in physical education, there is a grade level standards. The grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, and grade 10. In grade 7, the learner demonstrates understanding of personal fitness in achieving an active lifestyle. While the grade 8 is the learner demonstrate understanding of family and school fitness in sustaining an active lifestyle. Grade 9, the learner demonstrate understanding of community fitness in sustaining and promoting an active, healthy lifestyle. And in grade 10, the learner also demonstrate understanding of societal fitness in promoting an active and lifestyle as well. So, that is the physical education program. Thank you.
Good day everyone. Today, I will discuss about health. So, health educations emphasize the development of positive health attitudes and relevant skills in order to achieve a good quality of living. Thus, the focus on skills development is in explicitly demonstrated in the primary grade levels. Meanwhile, a comprehensive body of knowledge is provided in the upper year levels to serve as foundations in developing desirable health attitudes, habits, and practices. So, the key stage is standard of health. The learner demonstrates an understanding of key health concepts related to the achievement, sustainability, of promotion of wellness as it improves the quality of life of the individual, the family, and the larger community. So, there are the grade levels standards. First, the grade 7. The learner demonstrates an understanding of growth and development, nutrition, personal health and injury prevention, safety and first aid to achieve, sustain, and promote personal health and wellness. So, the grade 8. The learner demonstrates understanding of family health and preventions of controlled diseases and disorders, communicable and non-communicable to achieve, sustain, and promote family health and wellness. The grade 9. The learners demonstrates understanding of community and environmental health, injury preventions, safety and first aid, and prevention substances use and abuse to achieve, sustain, and promote community health and wellness. The grade 10. The learners demonstrate understanding of consumer health, national and global health trends, issues and concerns, the development of a health plan and explorations of careers in health to achieve, sustain, and promote health and wellness.
Alright, thank you so much everyone. So let's come now to the last subject in the junior high school K12 curriculum. We have the Technology and Livelihood Education, or the TLE. Technology and Livelihood Education encompasses the field of home economics, or HE, industrial arts, or IA, agri-fishery arts, or AFA, and information, communication, and technology, or ICT. The 24 TLE courses can be categorized under any of these fields. TLE as a course has two streams, the TR-based TLE and the entrepreneur-based TLE. And every school has a choice as to which stream to offer, with consideration for faculty, facilities, and resources. Both streams are based on the training regulations, but the entrepreneur-based TLE embeds entrepreneurship concepts in the teaching of the various subjects in HE, IA, AFA, and ICT. Let's come now to the learning standard of TLE subject in junior high school. The learner demonstrates the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes, or KSVA, in technology and livelihood education, or TLE, which will enable him or her to gain employment, become an entrepreneur, a middle-level manpower, and or pursue higher education. So, the standard for learning in this area is that the learner shows off his or her knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes in this subject. So these values will help him or her get a job, start a business, become a middle level manpower, or go to college. Next is the key stage standard of TLE. The learner demonstrates an understanding of the basic concepts of selected TLE course in home economics, industrial arts, agriculture and fishery arts, and ICT competencies common to TLE courses such as use and maintenance of tools, observing safety in the workplace, mensuration and calculation, and interpreting technical drawings, and gains specialized knowledge and skills in at least one TLE that would enable him or her to obtain NC2. So, learner shows that he or she understands the basic concepts of a TLE course in home economics, industrial arts, agriculture and fishery arts, and ICT skills that are common to all TLE courses, such as how to use and maintain tools, how to observe, how to stay safe at work, how to mensurate and calculate, and how to read technical drawings. So let's come now to the grade level standards of TLE subject in K12 curriculum junior high school. So in grade 7, the learner demonstrates an understanding of basic concepts and underlying principles in developing fundamental skills in exploratory technology and vocational education, or EPP, TLE, and TVE. So here, the learner shows that he or she understands basic concepts and principles that help him or her learn basic skills in exploratory technology and vocational education. So in the grade 8, on the other hand, the learner demonstrates an understanding of his or her personal entrepreneurial competencies, or PECs, the environment and market and process production and delivery of the technology and vocational education course in which he or she has specialized. So as you can notice, the level standards, the grade level standards from grade 8 to 10 are all the same, because when the learner demonstrates an understanding of his or her personal entrepreneurial competencies, or PECs, the environment and market, along with process production and delivery of the technology and vocational education course in which he or she has specialized, the learner is considered to have demonstrated proficiency in the subject. So that would be all of our topic, which is the K-12 curriculum junior high school. Thank you so much, and God bless.